Next topic, balanced and unbalanced forces. Now, let us understand, see, these are the two category of forces. We've seen the effect. Now, we'll understand what is balanced and unbalanced force. Before that, let's read. An object will move in the direction of the applied force, right? We have seen in whatever direction you will pull, the trolley started moving in the same direction. However, when an equal, very important, equal and opposite force is applied, the object experiences a state of balance. Such a force is known as balanced force. Now see, suppose, let us say, I have this pen with me. I am applying a force from here and from here. From both the sides I am applying force. Is the pen moving? Is the shape changing? In this case, the pen is rigid and the pen is also not moving, right? Because both the hands are applying force in equal and opposite direction. This hand is applying in this direction and this hand is applying in this direction. It is equal and opposite direction. And the body is not moving. So, this is the example of balanced force. When an object is under the action of the balanced force, its state of motion will remain unchanged. Very, very important line. See, how will you determine the force is balanced or unbalanced? You will see that whether the state of the motion of the object or the body is changing or not. In this case, if suppose I apply lesser force on this side and more force on this side, what is happening? This has started moving, but both the hands are now applying equal force. The state is same. So, that means in this case it is a balanced force. In this case in which it was moving like this, it is an example of unbalanced force. Okay. So, keep this point in mind. An unbalanced force acting on an object results in the state of motion. See, this is the difference between balanced and the unbalanced force. In the case of balanced force, there was no motion. But in the case of unbalanced force, there is a change of the state. Let's see again the example of the pen. If I am applying more force from this hand and less force from this hand, what will happen? The pen has started moving, right? Let us see another example. Over here, the boy and a girl, they are pushing a huge massive box lying on the ground. And in the first case, in the A case, there is no motion of the box. Okay, what is happening? Since in this case, there is no motion, that means a balanced force must be acting. And what are balanced force? They are a pair of equal and opposite force. That means there must be two forces. Let us see. The first force is this one, which the two persons are applying. Where is the second force coming from? That is balancing this force. It is the frictional force which is acting in the backward direction. The friction of the ground is acting in the opposite direction to the direction of the force by the person. As a result, these two forces are balanced. For one in this direction, other in the opposite direction, it has been cancelled. Hence, the body is at rest. In the second case also, they have increased the force, yet the body is not moving. That means here the friction has also increased. That is why it is balancing this larger force. But in the third case, the body has, the object, the person have increased the amount of magnitude of the force and the body has started moving forward. That means in this case, this forward force is not being balanced by the frictional force. In this case, friction force is less. In this case, friction force is less than the applied force. Hence, both the forces are not balanced, they are not equal, and as a result, body has started moving. Okay. When we stop, another example, when we stop pedaling, the bicycle begins to slow down. This is again because the friction acting opposite to the direction of the motion. In order to keep the bicycle moving, we have to start pedaling again. So, as you keep on slowing down, the friction acts, and at a state, the friction is equal to the force and the bicycle comes to the rest. If you want to bicycle to move, you have to apply an unbalanced force which is greater than the friction. Now, if an object experiences a balanced force and there is no net external force acting on it, then the object will maintain a constant velocity. Very, very important. See, if there is a balanced force acting on an object, this object was moving forward with the velocity v. In between, even if you apply the balance force, we know they are equal and opposite, they will cancel out, it will go on moving with the same velocity. Okay. That means the state of the motion of the object is not changing. Okay. See, you have another example of balanced force. This is a tug of war, right? Here what is happening? Both the teams are pulling the rope. And if both the teams are applying equal force, the rope is stationary, right? It is in the middle. But once the force on one side increases, any of the side, the force increases, the rope will start moving on that side. Now, in order to accelerate an object, an unbalanced force is needed, and as long as this force is present, the object will experience a change in its speed. However, if this force is completely removed, the object will continue to move with the velocity it has acquired till then. Okay. That means for an object to change its velocity means to accelerate, we need unbalanced force, because the balanced force cannot change the velocity.